came in the tithing offering world, okay, that it was obligatory and things like that. And then one day I woke up to this scripture, as I mentioned, that it says that I ought to be able to give cheerfully. And I find oftentimes that in my ability to give, when I wondered where things were going to come from, what I found was as I gived, other things began to open up and doors began to open up in my life. And so what I began to examine, because it's really easy, it became really easy for me to kind of get in this rut, if you will. I make X, I'm going to give X, and that's the way it is. But what I found was I found that there was a part of me that wanted to do more, even though I hadn't seen some of the income increases and things like that in my life. But what I wanted to do was do more. And so I began to look for other avenues within the church to be able to give into. For instance, many, many years ago, there was a Mother's Day thing, and I made the decision that I was going to go out, and there was going to be like 70 women at this. It wasn't a mother; it was a women's meeting. It wasn't a Mother's Day thing. That was error. I went and I bought them all white roses, and I brought all those white roses into the church sanctuary, and I left them there to be given out during this meeting and things like that. And I began to look for opportunities to bring blessing into other people's lives. One of the things I find about giving, and it doesn't get talked about as much, but I think it's important. When we give, we begin to see blessing in other people's lives. And there's nothing more exciting for me than to see other people being blessed. And what I find is one of the byproducts is that as other people are being blessed, I find that God begins to do other things in my life and doors open that I previously hadn't seen or thought about.